never mind. Our God is an awful God, he's fake, totally made up. If you don't love him, then you're fucked. Our God is an awful God, and they'll know we are Christians by our hate of other religions, gays, and women's rights. Yes, they'll know that we are Christians, because we think we're better than you and deserve to control your life.
And I will be your goddess of love. God is love. And God is love.
These are statuettes of the goddess of love discovered in the ancient land of Canaan. Her name was Ashtaroth. But the Ashtaroth was a powerful sex and worship. Ashtaroth was a shame. It was the devil, Daltor. Ashtaroth temples were discovered in Mesopotamia as Ashtar in Egypt, Astarate in Greek, Astarte in Rome, Greece, the land of Canaan, is a root confederation between city-state and people inherited from religions. The Torah, however, refers to her as a goddess of Sidonia, Sidon, that discovered Suda were among the Philistines and Ascalon and Gaza, east of the Jordan River. She was also goddess to the south and North Arabia.
May the shell of darkness open to release the rain of disintegration, so they will fly over the desolate lands. May the shell shrill and the night open its jaws to release the annihilator of all armies. May the lightning crack the sky and stay the arrival of a power. May the lightning destroy the bridges behind us. May the thunder burn in the heads of our enemies as a symbol of victory. The triumph of the lightning and the raven, screaming in the ecstasy of victory. The raven flies in the sign of the dragon. The havens are torn to pieces, and the graves are the shells of the darkness now open. The eye of the typhoon is stirring out all the death of the present. Annihilation arrives as an omen of total freedom. The Daltor eagle casting through the night. Riding on the back of the dragon, we are following the flight of the raven through the skies. Alasara, Lilium, Reginald.
The message from God to the evil was clear. Break down all the land and cut down the Asherah beside. Burn high places, sacred stones, Asherah of every nation, you shall burn the Asherah with fire. What does Asherah think of how it survived the Israelites? manifestations. Temples and statues of Ashtaroth continue to exist in towns and major crossroads until the advent of Christianity. Life of Saint Porphyry, Bishop of Gaza, a book written by Mark the Deacon, the biographer and assistant to Bishop Porphyry, who ruled Gaza for 40 years between 347 and 420. The bishop referred to the temple of Ashtaroth of Marnes in Gaza as the house of pagan madmen. The bishop attended a prayer in the temple, and he described it as idle madness gathered together in the temple of Marnes and made prayers and sacrifices for 7 days to quell a drought in the region. A woman told the bishop,
"Speak in here, and either persuade or be persuaded."
The bishop smote her tongue and muzzled her mouth because of Satan in her. The bishop travels to Constantinople and returned to Gaza by sea with the emperor's consent to demolish the pagan temples and overturn the idols. He was welcomed by his congregation and walked back at night through the four-way square where a marble statue of Ashtaroth stood at the crossroad. Some Canaanite women were honoring the statue by kindling lamps and burning incense. When the Christian party arrived to the sculpture, they prompted the demon who dwelt in the statue to come out of the marble. In great confusion, the statue was cast down by itself and broke into many pieces. The biographer recorded that there were in the city 8 public temples of idols of Aphrodite and Ashtaroth and the Marnes, which accounted to be more famous than all the temples in the world. The emperor's vizier from Caesarea delivered in a public forum the imperial letter, which commanded that the idols and their temples be overturned and given into the fire. The crowd cried out with loud voices that the governor sent soldiers among them who beat them with clubs and proceeded to demolish and burn temples and houses that exhibited statues or books on Ashtaroth. Ashtaroth temples had continued to exist in the land of Canaan until the coming of the Arab Muslims, who adopted the same version of the Torah about Ashtaroth and her followers, an option to embrace Islam, or Caesarea, the capital of the governor of Palestine, then fell to the Muslims in 636. The Canaanites had no other choice but to abandon their beliefs in Ashtaroth and her temples. Muslim Arabs call the pre-Islamic ages as the era of ignorance and destroyed just about every statue and sculpture with the head of a human. Astrology led the way to astronomy, to travel the space, pagan ways of trading, socializing, and praying. Her image as a goddess of love, beauty, and seductive power never ceased. She is still popular among women and everywhere. Every woman wants to be a goddess, as Ashtaroth was. It is the old versus the modern living style. Sorry, all fathers, but you really messed this one up.
Goddess of love. Goddess of love.
When thy people Israel sin and are smitten before the enemy,